All right, you guys are in for a treat today. We're going to dive into a story that seriously has it all. A lonely millionaire heiress, a kind-hearted maid with a mysterious past, and a family secret so devastating it changes absolutely everything. Get ready, because this is a wild ride about what happens when the life you thought you knew turns out to be a total lie.
And boom, right there, that's the entire story in a nutshell. So, let's meet Ava. Picture this: private jets, a mansion, basically anything you could ever want. But, as she says herself, she's missing the one thing she desperately craves: a real family. This one quote really sets the stage for her whole emotional journey.
So Ava's dad, super rich, but emotionally a ghost. Her loneliness gets so bad, and get this, at 9 years old, she literally walks into an orphanage and asks to be adopted, just so she could feel what it was like to have a mom and a dad. Can you even imagine? That tells you everything you need to know about where her head was at. So, to fix this whole situation, her dad just hires a nanny, Maria. And at first, Ava is having none of it. She's hostile, sees Maria as just another person on the payroll. But Maria is just relentlessly kind. The big moment, the real breakthrough, happens one night when Ava's sick. Maria stays up with her, they watch Moana, have some chicken soup, and just like that, all those walls Ava built up, they just crumble. And from that night on, Maria becomes her everything. She's there for homework, she's at all the school events, she basically fills this huge hole in Ava's life. For the very first time, Ava feels genuinely happy, stable, cared for. She finally has her family, or, well, so she thinks.
Okay, so things are finally looking up, right? Of course, that's when everything goes sideways. It's Ava's 17th birthday, and her dad drops an absolute bombshell. He's engaged to a woman named Cynthia who, surprise, has a daughter named Maddie. And yeah, this is pretty much the moment Ava's world starts to completely unravel.
And these two newcomers? Yikes. Cynthia, the stepmom-to-be, is all calm and polite, but she's got this smile that just doesn't reach her eyes, you know? It's creepy. Her daughter Maddie is the total opposite, a complete tornado of drama and energy. You can just feel how their presence immediately throws the whole house into chaos.
And Maddie? She gets to work right away. Her behavior goes from 0 to 100 real quick. We're not just talking annoying, we're talking deeply invasive. First, she interrupts the wedding toast to make it all about her. Then, she literally chops up a dress that belonged to Ava's late mother. And then she moves into Ava's room and starts recording her private conversations. I mean, come on. So this all comes to a head when Ava finally confronts her dad. She has the recording, right? Solid proof. But does it matter? Nope. The whole thing blows up. Her dad actually sides with his new family, and then he storms out for a business trip, still furious, leaving everything unresolved. And watch how fast things just completely fall apart. First, her dad leaves angry. Then, his plane disappears from radar, just gone. And in that power vacuum, Cynthia makes her move. She starts firing loyal staff, redecorating, basically wiping any trace of Ava and her dad from their own house.
And if you had any doubt about what these two are really after, just listen to this. Maddie, while her new stepdad is missing and presumed dead, says this while planning her birthday party. It's just chilling. The absolute lack of concern is what really shows Ava she is completely, totally alone in this.
But it gets worse. The knockout punch comes when Ava overhears Cynthia and Maddie talking. She hears the whole plot. They plan to take over everything. But then she hears the secret that just shatters her entire world. She's adopted. The man she's known as her father her whole life isn't her biological dad. So now, reeling from this life-altering news, Ava is desperate. She needs to find out who her real parents are. And who does she turn to? Maria, the one person she thinks she can trust. But oh man, the person she's closest to is the one holding the biggest secret of all. Okay, so Ava needs help. She teams up with this guy from school, Liam, who's a total tech whiz. He agrees to help if she'll get him an in at her dad's company, and their plan is like something out of a movie. They're going to sneak into the orphanage late at night and hack the computers to find her adoption records. So they pull it off. They get inside, get to the computer, and nothing. Zero. No record of Ava, no record of her dad. It's like she was never there. But how is that possible? She has the paperwork. She knows she was adopted from this exact orphanage. What is going on?
And then the twist. While they're hiding, Ava watches in total shock as Maria, her Maria, walks in. She sees Maria hand the receptionist a wad of cash and thank her for deleting the files. Just like that, the woman who was a mother to her becomes the biggest traitor in her life. It is just a brutal gut punch of a reveal.
So obviously, Ava confronts Maria. She fires her. You would too. But the story is far from over. Her new partner in crime, Liam, doesn't stop digging, and what he finds changes everything, again. It turns out the real villain might not be who Ava thinks it is.
It all starts clicking into place when Liam finds something huge. Maria used to work at that orphanage. Her signature is all over old files, and then the whole truth comes tumbling out. Maria's sister was Ava's biological mother. She abandoned the baby, and Maria, who couldn't take care of her, made the impossible choice to put her up for adoption so she'd have a better life. So Maria didn't betray her. She's her aunt.
But wait, there's more. Maria has been doing some digging of her own. After she was fired, she investigated Cynthia. And it turns out, Cynthia is a pro. She's a career con woman who marries rich guys, empties their bank accounts, and vanishes. Ava's dad was just the next name on her list.
So now, with all the cards on the table, Ava and Maria come back together. But this time, it's not as a boss and her maid. It's as family. And they are heading back to that house for one last showdown to take back their home and expose Cynthia for the fraud she is.
So they're in the middle of this huge confrontation, and Cynthia tries to dismiss Maria, calling her just the maid. And that's when Ava steps up and delivers this killer line. This is it. This is the peak of her entire journey. She's declaring that family isn't about blood. It's about who has your back. What a moment.
And then Maria drops the final bomb, the checkmate. She's got the proof. Cynthia's marriage to Ava's dad is totally invalid. Why? Because she's still married to one of her old victims. That means she has zero legal claim to anything. Game over.
And after that, things happen fast. Cynthia and Maddie get picked up by the police at the airport, trying to skip town, and then the best possible ending. A few weeks later, they find Ava's dad. His plane had to make an emergency landing in a remote area, but he's alive. He comes home, and the family, the real one, is finally back together.
You know, when you boil it all down, this story is really about one powerful idea. Ava began this journey feeling like she had no one. But she learned that family isn't just about who you're related to by blood. It's about the people who show up for you, the ones who protect you and never, ever leave your side.
And so that's what I want to leave you with. After a story with so many twists and turns, so many lies, betrayals, but also so much love, it kind of makes you stop and ask yourself, right? What truly defines a family?